Okay, we're back.
Yeah, I got mowed. Got my summer due.
I am not mowed, but anyway, it's all right. I haven't decided if I want to mow or not, so we can just pull it up, so it's good.
Well, I don't like ticks, and they love getting in your hair. But I have a tick comb. Kids bought. It's for animals, but I'm an animal, so it's anyway. Been a while.
Yes, a lot going on. You've been on a trip and had a great time.
Yes.
We've given away our scholarship.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Got the picture up there.
Oh, very good. Yeah, so that is.
Put it in?
Yeah.
Let me get it.
Hold on. So we awarded our scholarship last week, and that was really awesome. We're so happy. She is a great girl, and we think it's a great and awesome choice. And so we're very happy.
Yes.
And we hope that this will help her.
Yes.
So now we move on and look forward to next year.
That's right.
But, so anyway, it's just been several different things going on.
Very busy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay.
It is. I mean,
we're not making money by doing our podcast. It's cathartic for us.
Yes.
It helps us talk about things that goes on in the world, and
we get to vent.
That's right. We do.
It maybe make you laugh in the meantime, or inform you of something and make you laugh.
Or make it, if it triggers you to go do something, do it. I've been looking into.
Well, let's be careful how we say that. We don't want to trigger them to do certain things. Let's do
everything legal and fair.
Hopefully, if it makes you want to go find out more information. Or get involved in something.
Find out something, investigate it.
But ours is we don't want you doing anything negative.
Nothing illegal. Nothing illegal. No, because
people have been triggered lately, so we have to be careful how we say that.
They get triggered for the dumbest things. They do.
They really do.
They really do. You look at Facebook and people get triggered by things, and I'm like, I just stay out of that.
Well, it gets me because, I watch some of these comedians, and they're about my age, and they talk about how we have to be so gentle with these new kids and stuff. They can't handle it. We didn't get asked. If you got in trouble, you got to spank it and move on.
Exactly.
Spanking was not a beating. It was just discipline.
Exactly.
And you were just grateful to be alive.
It was called tough love.
But now nobody wants to touch their and you can't do anything and stuff. And these kids nowadays are like, oh my goodness. And it's like, no, that would have been.
In my room and cry.
I'm watching this one guy, and he's so funny about how Italian mothers are and stuff, and Italian fathers and all. And it's like, no, my dad, you'd been picking your teeth up and picking yourself up off the floor if you'd have messed up and done some of the stuff these kids do.
My mom was. She could yell forever. And you're like, would you just hit me?
I know, right?
Get it over with. But no. And then I'd bring it back up, could be years later, she'd bring it back up. So, I was telling my daughter yesterday, and she's beautiful, and she was so cute. Such a cute little child. And if she had to go to a babysitter or have somebody come to the house to watch her while we were working before, vacation, because maybe their vacation was different than mine. Oh, she would have those people just wrapped around. All she had to do was just smile or just squeeze out a couple little tears. My husband would go, oh my gosh, I said, don't worry. Give me 2 days. She'll be fine. See that sofa? Plant yourself on it. The timer's set. Time out 10 minutes. See that toy? It's your favorite, isn't it? It's going to be gone. And you know what? It works. Didn't have to do anything, but you only have to do it once.
Well, we'd have spank chapel and stuff.
They get
depending, we tried to meter it to what the crime or what had happened.
It's the degree of the offense.
Yes.
Yes, okay. No, that was very offensive. No, you're going to get a good swat. No, you're rolling around, okay, I might roll around with you and have a tantrum, see what you think about
But
it.
even the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the
That's
child.
right. Oh, man.
I mean, and we get disciplined by the Lord when we don't do things correctly.
Oh,
I do anyway.
I can't remember the
I'm
proverb.
not a good child all the time, so I get disciplined.
I can't remember the proverb that I read today because it was so appropriate. You're guilty if you punish the innocent. And you're guilty if you don't punish the guilty.
That will be.
I mean, because what we're reading Kings. Boy, was there a lot of fighting there. There's not many kings left. Anyway, talking about kings, has nothing to do with kings, but.
No kings?
I had this for last week.
Okay.
That I ran off because I was like, wow, that's something I hadn't thought about. But, and we're talking about kids and discipline. And this has to do with high school and college athletes.
Okay.
Okay? And if they're really, really good, they can get what's called NILs, N-I-L. Now, to me, NIL means zero. That's what it means to me, NIL versus zero. But this stands for, and I had to look it up, because all these acronyms, and people just throw them out, and then I don't know what they're talking about. It means, N means name, I is image, and L is likeness or characteristics. And what they're talking about is paying high school athletes and college athletes, because they're so good. They're getting money, getting paid like professionals. Yes.
I don't know if that should happen.
See, that's why I wanted to bring this topic up, because I have mixed them. When you're putting this on them at such a young age, because they just say high school athletes. Now, you could have an 8th grader that's a really good athlete.
I mean,
You can. And they could sell their name or their image or their likeness. I imagine if they have an AI that looks like them, and get paid. And they actually have...
Is that any different than being an actor or a singer at a young age? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question. Child actor. I don't know.
I just don't feel like that kind of stuff should be put on child athletes, but that's just me.
Well, I think I'm trying to get it in my mind. To me, it's sort of like we're missing the point here, because it's putting a lot of pressure on a child to be athletically fit because they'll make some money.
Well, it's not even just that. A lot of times for me, if you're going to assign your image and your personality or your person and stuff with any of this, there needs to be character with it.
And they're just developing.
And to me, that puts a lot of pressure on a teenager or a kid or whatever.
I think you're getting what's bothering me. Yes, you're getting it. You're telling me exactly what... That's right, because they're developing. I mean, we've excused kids for doing things bad because their brain hasn't developed. And it's not complete until, their 20s or something. And now we're saying
60 in
some cases, maybe it takes a long time. It's like, you finally grew up. Oh, you're 72, okay. You saw the light. But, really, I think, yes, I think that's it. And I looked it up, and I actually have the map here. And it says green, yellow, and red. And green, it's the states permitting this. And the law or state athletic association bylaws. So it's the law or state athletic association bylaw allow high school student athletes to profit from their NIL. Now, I thought it would be a lot of states that didn't.
That's a green map, though.
That is a green map. That's a green map.
But see, to me, at a certain age, you're trying to promote the child, and I feel like this is where we go wrong with athletics anyway. You're trying to help the kid, one, become part of a team, because team is, you learn things with a team. Plus, you're teaching them skills. And some kids just come at it naturally. And then other kids have to work at it. But they can get very good at what they do. But I feel like sometimes, especially in rec leagues, we miss the point and parents start arguing because everybody's got to be on the all-star team. And kids then feel bad. And then by the time the kid has gotten to a certain age, they don't even want to do sports anymore because it's taking all the fun out of it.
It's not fun. And you just brought up something that went through my mind. Can you imagine the competition in a team when one kid realizes another kid is getting paid to be better? Do you understand? That is, now you've got some adversity within the team itself. We've had, that cheerleading mother that went after another they've done this.
Yeah, it happens in beauty pageants and everything.
Yeah, they're greedy. It's like, really? You're missing the point of the team. Let them grow naturally into their abilities and not force it.
And see, and as you brought up, the parents, because if the parent, all of a sudden, if the kid is making money and the parent's getting recognition too, because they will alongside the child,
yes,
then if the child doesn't want to play, or has a bad year or a bad week, or what if the child gets injured? There's a lot of pressure on a kid.
That's way too much.
I think it's a lot of pressure.
But, see, I think that's why I wanted to bring this up, because I knew that you would have thoughts that I couldn't come up with. That's why it's better to have a brainstorming. But that was, some states prohibit it. And that's the red ones: Texas, Hawaii, Alabama, South Carolina, West Virginia, and Wyoming. It's no. And it'd be interesting to do a statistic 10 years down the road to see how these youngsters are faring.
I would want to know how many in our state are profiting from it.
I don't know how we'd find that out.
But you should be able to.
Should just go to the state and go to the athletic association.
You probably can find it from there. But like I said, I don't know how I would feel about that. It's a lot on a kid, because just hearing some of these childhood stars and the pressure they were under,
and all of them end up with some kind of issues unless they've really had parents that cared for them.
And if you don't have a good coach in this, also if you have a coach that's greedy because now this kid's on my team, or there's a lot of things that come into play with this. And I feel like part of your problem here is going to be the adults.
They usually are.
Sometimes they act more childish than the kids do. You expect a child and a teenager to act a certain way. But, and so imagine, what if, I don't know. I don't get good vibes from it. I don't know if it's something that a state should legislate, because I'm one of these people that I don't like government involved in everything. But it would make me interested to see how many kids are doing it.
In our state, it says law or state athletic association bylaws. So this comes from the athletic association. Law or state athletic association bylaws. So
I don't know.
You have to find out.
It's not. To me, this is a slippery slope.
Oh, it is. I almost got myself into trouble at a soccer game about a month ago, and it was nothing. It was just my mouth I think I told you my mouth just opened up, and it wasn't because I was angry with anybody, but a rule has to be followed. And we were sitting there, and
they don't anymore, do they?
Well, no.
Anyway, let's go ahead.
The ball was not out. It was rolling to the line, but in soccer, unless it's past that line completely, and you see a little grass, then it's out. If it's still touching that line, it's still in. It's got to be on the other side completely, in the same way the goals are made. Well, I'm watching the ball come out, and this parent or grandparent just went up and picked it up. And my mouth didn't stop. I said, "Sir, it wasn't out yet." And he started to come towards me. And my husband said, "It wasn't out." And my daughter said, "It wasn't out." And he thought better of it and sat down. But I wasn't trying to argue with him. I was just stating a fact that if you were the referee and you did that, they would stop at the game because you actually picked the ball up before it was out. And if you were a good referee, it wasn't out, you'd have to have a drop ball because you interfered with the play. But, I mean, see, that's where my mouth is wet.
Well,
But I wasn't doing it,
facetiously, I mean.
right, it was
right.
just, she didn't obviously understand the rules of the game. And that's a problem we have with a lot of parents that get into arguments with the referees or my sister was a volleyball referee, right? And she would stand a referee for volleyball, and I think it was college that she did, or high school. I mean, she might have done both. You'd stand on a ladder next to the net, and you would watch, because that was the closest point. You couldn't be on the field, you'd get knocked over. But if you were on a ladder, a step ladder right next to you, you could see everything going on. And this one parent, one spectator yelled at her. She came down, she gave me, she says, "Here, we want to do it?" You can take over. I'm like, "Oh, no, you don't want to." And that's, it's a frame of reference from where you are. And the big thing that I'm sure that a lot of parents don't know, and sometimes some of the referees don't know them completely either. I had a discussion with your son too about that. Are the rules.
Some of the referees don't know the rules, don't go by them either. So, and I think that's what leads parents into certain things, but I try not to comment on the rules. I feel like, to me, as a parent or a grandparent sitting in the stand, I'm there to encourage them, yell for them, rah-rah-ree, go, 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 this and that. But it drives me crazy when I'm sitting there and parents are telling and yelling at the kid what to do. The kid is supposed to do what the coach says. And the kid is supposed to do what he and the team have done. But I've actually seen kids stop and look up at their parent.
That's right.
And I'm like, the parent is not the coach at this point. You shouldn't be yelling at them, hey, and telling them, hey, move over there and do this. It's not right for me. And then the kid, to me, gets confused because, I've actually seen parents get mad at the kid because the kid didn't do. And I'm like, it gives me chills because it makes me so upset.
There's another thing that you just brought up. Suppose the referees know that there's a kid on these teams that's getting paid and sponsorship. I wonder how that would affect the game.
It might bode well for the team they're on, but it could really not go well for the team that's opposing. I mean, there's so many factors here. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know how I feel about this. Because especially if it's
professionals, they are all getting paid. They're professionals. They're professional players. They're getting paid. That's their job. But when you get kids who are amateurs and they're getting paid, I wonder how that. I never thought of it in terms of the officials.
I think it could, because you could really start looking at bribes.
I could just see some officials who are unbiased or biased. Some of them say, there's not an official that's unbiased, and there should be. You should go out there, and it doesn't matter who the kid is or what the team is and where you're from, you should call the game the way it should be called. And I know that doesn't exist in lots of places. I've watched it firsthand. But you can imagine when an official goes out there and says, I'm going to fix that kid. He thinks he's hot because he's getting paid. I'm going to call everything against him.
Call against him or call for him? There's a lot of things I can see not. I don't know. To me, on the side, if you're looking at a list of positive and negative, I can see the side of negative being more so than...
I can too. And it's just in the development of a child, and
But a lot of what we put out has been on the adult side. The negativity is on the adult side, and that's where, but adults get crazy over kids' sports. And I guess it's because they're trying to relive it, trying to get their kid to be something, maybe trying to get them scholarships, but see, to me, part of what you do in sports is, I mean, if this is something the kid loves, it's going to be the desire in them anyway. I can't be making the kid do it.
right, you got,
And I shouldn't be making the child do it if they don't want to do it, and I shouldn't be putting the pressure that you've got to do this, and
I think rec teams, you have more of issues than you do if you have a more advanced premier teams. And I think you have more of that.
You do.
I think you have more anger, and a lot of it is because you don't have, the coaches may not be actually licensed coaches, they're just volunteers, that's all. They're not getting paid to do anything. And, you know, so you've got a rec mentality, and that's okay, but the parents have to understand that. They have to understand that this is for fun, and the kids should be having fun.
How many times have you heard, like in the baseball leagues and stuff, where the parents for the All-Stars choose their kids? And maybe there was a kid better than another kid, but it's because, I think maybe kids should, maybe teams should be chosen differently. I don't know. I don't know.
I know that when we used to go to karate, different karate tournaments, and we were judges. And sometimes our students were competitors, and we'd have to judge our own student. I was very hard on ours, because I knew what they could do, and if they didn't do it, I would judge them. Okay, well, yeah, you did well, but you missed this, which you had been practicing. And I've had judges doing the opposite with our students. I mean, our daughter and her friend did they did a tandem kata, where they were facing each other and back. And they were competing against teenage black belts, and they were a brown belt and a red belt. And they did a superb job. No, they didn't win. And they did better than the other ones. And one of the judges came up and said to them, "Oh, you did such a great job," and yet that was one of them that judged them lower. And I said, "It's okay, kids, it's okay. It's all right." Because I know what they're doing. I knew what they did. And
I watch like a lot of cooking shows and stuff, and and when they're judging them, sometimes they'll tell you, it's going to come down to the minutest little thing. It really is, because right now we are so, we're not sure, so it's going to come down to the slightest little thing, and it could be not enough salt, it could be a dirty plate, it could be, the smallest, simplest little thing.
Like a parsley that you put in the wrong position.
It could be, because, things get tight, but
But they're professional with it,
but still, it's, you can tell when it's unfair judging and when it's fair judging.
And you know what? That's life.
And,
that's what's going to happen throughout your life.
It is.
It is going to happen no matter where you go.
But these are lessons that you teach these kids as they're coming up. But if you're getting into this and then you're being paid, or they're getting paid for money,
man, you're missing that.
And then say their team loses, even though your kid's the best one on the team, something happens. Parents, like I said, I just don't see it.
See, I thought that would be a really good topic. This is 2 weeks ago. I was really awestruck by the number of states that do this nil. And I just don't see it. I'd rather see the kids work hard and get an educational scholarship for the college that they need to go into.
Now, college, when you get into college, I know they're starting to do college, but some of the ones that are in college are wanting to play professional.
that's what they, yes.
And now, because some of them actually get chosen sometimes in college,
And
right?
they quit school to
They
go.
quit school to do,
And
but,
then I have another problem with that too, so.
I mean, that one's getting a little bit different, but still, but that's what colleges look for too, because they want to recruit great players. So if you get a player that's getting paid and has got this recognition, it makes the college look better. So you're getting into another great area with all that.
It is, yep, it is. And what did you go to college for?
Well, the ones that got sports scholarships, they went to go get on in.
Yes, teams.
I mean,
Rich, are you ever too old to go back to college? I was thinking of taking some classes.
No, you're never too old.
I wonder if they'll give them to me free.
Maybe they reduce, no, I don't know if they might give you a senior citizen, but
Senior citizen, yeah, I'm a senior citizen, I could do that.
I've seen people, get their degrees when they were of age or upper age.
I was considering doing some theology classes. Because it's very interesting.
Well, Hillsdale, Hillsdale has some classes and stuff you might be interested in. You ought to look at them.
Actually, I know the person who's starting the one in South Hill. And it's all online. And classes are throughout the world.
That could be interesting.
It could be. I thought that would be really good. You could get a PhD in theology. Piled high and deep. Holy moly! What do you think, Guy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like
I think it's just so interesting.
You're ever too old to learn
I know,
things.
yeah,
and there's so much when you dig into theology and the Bible. There's so many
There's
things.
so much, I mean, I got topic for next week too. I mean, I've just been going crazy with all this stuff, and
So,
the world is crazy. And so I need to take classes, right, so I can find out how crazy it is.
but at least we know somebody that isn't.
Yes,
He is steady and stable and
Thank
when everything
goodness.
else is falling apart.
that is exactly it, yep.
So, anyway, it's about time for us to wrap it up for this week, but good to see y'all again,
Yes, good.
and have a great rest of your week.
Stay cool.
Bye-bye.